Now, before I begin this review, I know a lot of you are going to be asking this question: why are you reviewing a card game? Well, truth be told, I've taken a liking to poker as of lately, though I never had a lot of experience with the game itself. I was strictly a blackjack player myself. The only experience I've had with poker was back in the Hoyle Card Games days on the PC of the late 90s. On the game had characters that ranged from a Jamaican to an old woman to a talking bear to God knows why T-Rex and a questionable alien. I never had any issues with it because I enjoyed the game for what it was. It was a good game to play to keep me sidetracked from games that was either frustrating me or just playing the game as a good time waster. However, starting from the early 2000s and later, I grew apart from Hoyle Card Games and such. I was tackling on other games that took up most of my time. One game came into my sights, and you wouldn't believe that it happened to be a card game type. It was called Poker Night at the Inventory, a game released on Steam for Windows and Macintosh on November 22nd, 2010, created by Telltale Games. I was introduced to this game by watching my father play this game on his laptop. It strongly reminded me of the days when I played Hoyle Card Games. Instead, we only get the 4 talkable and likable characters on this game. Meet Heavy, aka Heavy Weapons Guy from Team Fortress 2. Strong Bad, a character from Homestar Runner, Sam, Max's trusty sidekick and partner from Sam and Max's Adventures, and Tycho from Penny Arcade. You are represented as the player who had taken into the inventory by Reginald von Winslow, a retiree of the Screaming Narwhal from Tales of Monkey Island, to go against the other 4 players in the poker tournament of Texas Hold'em. Let me ask you a question. What do you get in a room full of video game characters that represent a German accent hunk without his weapon, a video game nerd, a crazy partner that can't seem to put down his gun, and a wannabe tough guy that is all talk but no show? One heck of a poker night, and this game is chock full of it. If there is one thing this game is good for, is the dialogue, and it certainly is full of quirks and humor that you normally wouldn't see at a card table. Randomly, one of the 4 non-playable characters will not be able to front the money, but will offer one of their possessions as buy-in for the game. You, the player, can win these items as Team Fortress 2 unlockable equipment only if you are the one to bust that non-player character out of the game. Not much to this game. The graphics are definitely nice to look at, and the setting was very well placed. The music is also nicely done with its own jazzy effect to fit the characters' each theme. It keeps the atmosphere fresh and well welcome to the card table. But what really gets me in this game is the constant bickering between the players at the table. Jesus Christ, I couldn't concentrate half the time during the game due to these characters. They are very likable, and it's hard not to laugh at what they have to say to each other, or even to you for that matter. I've grown accustomed with these characters, and I have never been into so much poker play because of this game. Poker Night at the Inventory 2 was then released on Steam, Xbox Live Arcade, and PlayStation Network in late April of 2013. This game is far more superior than its predecessor, and that is definitely a feat that is hard to overcome. This game is very heavy on the story this time around, as you are first introduced by going into the inventory, seeing a random guy smacking into the wall with our first non-playable character, Brock Sampson, exiting the room and showing you the way to the poker game room. As you enter the room, you have the recognizable host from the last game to introduce you again to the characters that you will be facing in this tournament. Brock Sampson, Dr. Venture's bodyguard. He is much recognizable from the hit TV show of Adult Swim's The Venture Brothers. Claptrap and his friend Steve from the Borderlands series. Trust me, this guy isn't as annoying on this game as he was from the Borderlands franchise. He is much funnier this time around. Sam, alongside with Max in the sidelines, returned from Sam and Max, and lastly Ash Williams from the Evil Dead franchise. To be quite honest, I don't know the Evil Dead that well, nor Sam and Max for that matter, but hearing these guys bicker during the tournament had made me grow attached to them. You think that would end the introductions right there, but you are then introduced lastly the dealer for this night's poker game, GLaDOS from the Portal franchise. Jesus Christ, is she hilarious in this game than she was from the Portal franchise. Every time I play around with these people, I can't help but laugh at the constant conversations that she has with the other non-playable characters, as well as yourself. Sure, she's still her heartless self, but she is lovable in this game regardless. This time around, you're introduced to 2 types of poker gameplay, Texas Hold'em and Omaha. Omaha is not that different from Texas Hold'em. At least not that I could tell. The best way I can describe this game is that it's just as perplexing as Texas Hold'em. If you're a fan of new taste, Omaha is your forte, but I'll stick to my Texas Hold'em. Whichever game you prefer, you have to dish out $20,000 buy-in and do what you originally did on the last game. This time around, you're introduced to, I guess I will call, objectives. You get 3 of them depending on the type of game that you play. Complete these 3 objectives and you will be able to get a chance to win a bounty item from a non-playable character of randomized choice. I only happened to nab one of them, and let's just say I won't be getting any happy looks from Brock Sampson anytime soon. With these bounties, you can unlock additional content depending on what you're playing this game on. If you are playing this on Steam, you unlock additional equipments for Borderlands 2 and Team Fortress 2. On Xbox Live Arcade, you unlock additional avatar wear, and on PlayStation Network, you unlock PlayStation 3 themes. After gaining a non-playable character's bounty, you are handed out 3 different objectives before having another chance to unlock another bounty. There are a total of 4 of them. If you are a patient type, you can definitely win these with no problem, but if you aren't, you are in for a long night at the inventory. At the end of each tournament, if you give it your best shot or win a tournament altogether, you're introduced to another new system of this game, inventory tokens. You use these to unlock themed poker chips, table layouts, and cards. What makes this game stand out more than the first game, you may ask me? Well, it's definitely more built than the first game with its graphics, dialogue, theme, and music. Again, the dialogue sticks out on this game, and I can't stop laughing at every second of it. I love the stunning relationship between Claptrap and GLaDOS, and the serious conversations between Brock Sampson and Ash Williams. Sam and Max's bickering is just gold, and GLaDOS's charm is definitely the golden ticket to the whole entire game. The hilarity that both these games contain is just overall comedy gold. I keep returning to both these games because of it. If you are a big poker player and don't mind to chip in a time waster or two, Poker Night at the Inventory is definitely a good choice to stop by with. The graphics aren't too heavy for the eyes, the dialogue and music is magnificent, and the gameplay is just as basic as it gets for a poker game. If you are looking to get Poker Night at the Inventory, you can only get it on PC or Mac. Otherwise, stick with Poker Night at the Inventory 2. Poker Night 2 is just as addicting, challenging, and more to laugh at than the first game, and that's saying a hell of a lot considering it's just supposed to be a simulated card game. With that said, I am the Blue Hedgehog 2010. Happy gaming, my friends.